Welcome to day 12 of the Businesswoman Who Creates Time. I'm Rachel Evans. I'm here with you for 30 days in a row at the busiest time of the year to show you that when something is important enough and you make it a priority, you will get it done, but you don't have to do it at the expense of yourself and other things that you enjoy in your life. If you're here, you're likely a woman in business like me, a mother, a partner. Maybe you're doing it solo, but you are in the constant loop and chaos of trying to fit everything in every single day, and you are usually the one that comes last. And that is not necessarily something that others place upon us. We grow up thinking that we need to serve everybody else before ourselves, but you do reach a certain point where that becomes unsustainable. And particularly if you're growing a business or a side hustle while raising children, you will feel the fatigue, but you will push through to the point where your body says, we're actually not having any more of this. And you will start to have some dire consequences if you don't start paying attention. A couple of days ago, I shared with you here that when I first separated from my previous marriage, I was having such a hard time financially that I was buying groceries on my fuel card because I didn't have to pay that account for 30 days. But the last few days, I fielded lots of questions about that. And along with that and what we've been up to for the last few days, my husband and I, we've been staying in Sydney. We came down to celebrate our daughter's 23rd birthday. We've been staying in a beautiful hotel. And a story that my husband told me this morning about the housekeeping team that came in to refresh the room yesterday, and how one of the housekeepers had arrived in Australia 3 months ago to do her MBA here. And she knows one other person in Australia, and that's it. All of her family is back home in the country that she comes from. And I thought, well, that's actually awesome for her, even though she's obviously a highly qualified woman, and she's come here to live out her dreams and achieve her MBA. She's here in housekeeping, and that is exactly where I started my working career. So I dropped out of university when I was 19 and a half. I was doing a Bachelor of Business, and I was just bored to tears. I was just so anxious to get out there and just actually start doing something. So I dropped out of uni and I got a job with Sheraton Hotels at Sydney Airport, which was at the time a 5-star hotel. And I had to start in housekeeping. That was the only available department or department that had vacancies. And that meant that every day I was cleaning up to 15 rooms after travellers, whether they were holiday makers or business people, after they'd checked out. And being 19 and a half, I wasn't quite sure what I was in for. And I did that job for nearly 2 years. And it taught me a number of things, like discipline, because you had to work really hard. It was a really physical job. You only had half an hour allocated per room. And therefore, the 15 rooms had to be done in your working day. And if you went too fast, you overlooked things and you got called back to the room by the team leader to rectify them. And if you went too slow, then you obviously didn't get through all of your rooms and you required performance management. Some of the things that I learnt when I was doing that job, even though I was only young, well, obviously, hospital corners. I've been doing hospital corners when I make the bed since I was 19 and a half, something I've shared with my husband and my children. But also following a system. So there was a method if you wanted to clean the room and do it right the first time and do it in good time. And when I look at the girl that cleaned those rooms and the things that she learnt there. She was really lowly paid, but it made me value every cent that I earned. And while I knew my career absolutely was not going to be in the housekeeping department, I thought that I wanted to run five-star hotels. All these years later, I now understand I didn't want to run them. I just wanted to stay in them. So I make sure that we do plenty of that. But doing a job like that is a form of overcoming adversity in itself. However, it's a really great story in how great things can come from very humble beginnings. So I guess I've gone from the housekeeping department when I was 19 and a half to being nearly 49. So, it's going on 30 years ago. And, having a wealth now with my husband that basically means we're deca millionaires. Now, did we do that overnight? No, we didn't. But when we came together, we were both the spouse in the relationship that walked away with the lesser financial settlement. We've both been the paying parent in child support cases. Yet, because we came together with a mindset that was we will achieve our dreams together, that we always want to learn. We want to be developing ourselves, but for each other as well. And that we're willing to do trial and error, take a little bit of risk, but all in all, move together in the same direction. We've been able to amass most of that wealth during our time together. So it wasn't like we came together and one of us was wealthy already. That's not the case at all. But we are the accumulation of all of the things that we've learnt along our journey. So if you have a humble start to your career like I did, it probably means that you're right on track. And even if you are financially not where you want to be right now, you're probably in your 40s or close to if you're watching this, just know that where you find yourself today, stuck, feels hard, you feel like it's never going to happen, you're probably underestimating where you'll be in 5 years' time. I know both my husband and I, while we could always see in our vision that this was the life for us, there were times when we thought there was no way we would ever be enjoying the quality of life that we do now. But when you're in the right headspace, you're a lifelong learner, you're willing to take feedback, you're coachable, and you're willing to do the hard yards, live and work a way that most people wouldn't do so that you can have the results that most people can't achieve, then you will have your end goal. And as I've spoken about over the course of this 12 days, it's not luck, it's hard work, vision and discipline all layered on top of each other. And often the more adverse your beginning or the more humble your beginnings, the more magical the outcome. Because you've done life without money, and once you start to achieve the good cash flow and you're able to start transferring sustainably some of that cash flow outside of your business to accrue other investments, you realize life is a lot more fun when you have money. Not just because you get to enjoy great experiences like staying in five-star hotels instead of running them, but because you're able to solve problems with money. Okay. Please subscribe to the channel. It's new, just like you. And please like this video so we can send it far and wide. I'll be back with you tomorrow on December 22.